how does the church, how does the conservative movement win back young women and bring women back into this idea of, traditional practices and roles? How should people think about that?
I mean, I feel like it should be a duty of the church to help teach Titus 2 to women, to understand how to be a biblical woman in society. I think it was Elizabeth Elliot that said, being a woman does not make me a better Christian or a certain Christian, but being a Christian makes me a very different woman. And I think understanding, yes, your biblical role, but also be the woman that your future husband deserves. Be the woman that, God wants you to be. You don't have to be out partying. Don't, be crazy thinking I'm running out of time when your God is the author of time. So just chill, you're going to find your human. God knows your timing. And I think that that's another thing right now that you see too. Young men and women, you hear it all the time, where am I going to find my future spouse? How do I find my future spouse?
Maybe at America Fest.
But maybe, I know. So you never know. But it's, it's one of those things where it's really important that you have to have an environment where it's conducive towards swimming in a stream of significance, where you're around people that are pouring into you, that are loving on you, that are a conducive environment for you to be the person that you need to be. It's really important.
Yeah, and I mean, my advice to young men in particular is you need to stop acting like grown boys and infants and actually become men. And that starts with, it is not attractive. I mean, Erika can support this. It's not attractive to women how much liquor you can drink or how many drugs you could do or how many women you've slept with. I think it's actually not interesting at all. It's the opposite. It's, are you able to support the family and do difficult things and be able to bear an obligation to be able to do this very challenging thing called life? And what we've done is we have created a condition where it's okay for men to kind of continue to stay in that infant stage. And that goes for both men and women. Women, you need to demand more out of men as well. And men, you need to demand more out of yourself. And I say this all the time, which is, I ask the question, why are you drinking alcohol? It makes me feel good. Okay, that's a really stupid reason, actually. I'm not saying if you want to drink, it's fine. I'm not trying to be a legalist about it. But to actually give me a good reason. Is it going to help you succeed? Is it going to help you flourish? Is it going to help you thrive? And the answer is this. The highest performing people that you guys like at this conference are people that actually don't drink alcohol. Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump. They don't drink alcohol, actually. And again, if you want to do it, it's fine. Do it in moderation. Be responsible and all that. I don't drink. Again, I'm not trying to say it's because, it makes you better. But here's the thing. Your mornings are easier. Way easier to keep off weight, by the way. And immediately you become more focused and a much more clear thinker about the problems in front of you. And you never have to worry as if your mind and your being is going to be put in jeopardy by some substance you put into your body. By the way, you'll save a ton of money as well, just so we're clear. A ton of money. People say, I'm broke. Really, how much you spend on liquor a week? And the answer is probably a lot. And going even deeper and beyond that, I think it's really important that we understand that the battle is between, obviously, your flesh and your inclination to try to do what you want to do whenever you want to do it. But that is why God gave us the law. And the law is a school teacher towards Christ. Because, look, if it was easy, then we wouldn't actually need the law. You just kind of follow your flesh, follow your heart, do whatever you want to do. No, you actually must restrain your impulses and restrain your desires. And that is what actually marks a successful or person in pursuit of what is good, true, and beautiful.
Well, and on top of that, think about it. If you, not just you, but if someone was drinking and totally inebriated and you got an emergency phone call at 3 a.m., if someone really needs you, that loves you, that's not good.
And basically, if you get super drunk, you're telling the world, I actually don't have that much important stuff going on. That's basically what you're saying. That actually I don't matter to other people that much. But when you don't drink, you're like, I am willing to serve my neighbor, my friend, my spouse, my sister at any time.
Well, and then I get this question all the time, and I want you to share with it. You're a father now, obviously, but what advice can you give to young dads that are either about to have their first child or just had their first child? What would you, we've been through all of that, but what would you say to help encourage them?
Well, I would say you need to understand the biblical role of the father. Again, I'm still learning this. I've only been at it, for 2.5 years.
We're still young.
But when it comes to your child, you are tasked to protect them both physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and really outside the house and obviously in other ways as well. Quality time is everything. You're not above any of the duties or the tasks or the roles. But you as a father and as the provider, you need to get your act together so much that your wife never has a financial pressure ever on the family. And if you have not done that, then you got to get your act together. And let me tell the men out there, you do not spend a dime on video games or sports games or things for yourself until your wife does not have to worry about finances. You come last in the family when it comes to finances, period. That is your job. Your wife gets whatever she wants. The kids get whatever they want. And I hear all the time, like, well, it's really hard to meet ends meet. Like, let's go get a beer. I'm like, you have no reason actually to do that. Like, you are tasked with the provider. You want all the benefits of being called the head of the household, but none of the responsibilities or the obligations. And it comes with a lot of responsibilities. And so, again, I speak very directly to young men. Erika's the, young woman outreach part of this. But young men need to be talked this way, actually, because they say, I want to be a dad. Like, really? Are you earning enough money? Have you done the right work? Have you asked for a raise, asked for a promotion, got up earlier, stayed up later to make sure your family does not have any financial pressures or issues? People say, it's not that easy. I understand that. But then you need to come last in everything, in the sense where I'm not going to spend money on myself until my family is able to not have that kind of financial pressure. And guess what? You as men are a lot tougher and a lot more productive and can work a lot harder than you think. You can push yourself even harder. You could do a double-double. You could do an all-nighter. You could do the red-eye flight across the country. You could push yourself to be able to provide for the family. Because here's the one thing I have found. Once you have kids, there is this primal thing that comes into you where if you think you have worked hard before, when you have to go feed a child and provide for a family, you are willing to go to the ends of the earth and push yourself in ways that you never thought possible. And that is your initial and most important task as a father.